whenever you have uh, a pull, something that's trying to stop you from doing, saying, acting in a certain way, speaking your mind, being honest, helping somebody, even like reaching out. Anytime you're doing one of these things and there's a big energetic push in the opposite direction, and you feel like you're being perhaps psychically attacked, or you feel the nanos being activated inside of you, and feel like your body's about to burn on fire, or you feel like someone's casting a spell on you, or you just, there's any number of ways that you can just feel like shit. And if this is happening, if it's happening in general, you can look to what you're doing and see, who would not appreciate what you're doing. For who is what you're doing not helpful or actively detrimental to? And I don't mean this in terms of necessarily individual people. I mean this in terms of the principalities, the demonic forces, that which benefits off of loosh harvesting, archontic forces, etc. These are the ones that are not benefiting from you being open and honest and genuine. They're not benefiting from you doing your best to bring community back into the world. Because it's not feeding them, right? You're supposed to be angry at your father and your mother and your brother, your sister, and harboring grudges against your neighbor and coveting your neighbor's wife or girlfriend. You're supposed to be very unhappy with your current position in life and trying to just really strive on to that next level. Yeah? Because you certainly aren't there now. God forbid you be okay with where you're at right in this moment. Don't even think about that one. So all of these things that lead to inner peace and contentment are not, they're not leading to sort of profits for these archontic or loosh harvesting forces or entities. So you're going to get attacked. Like, you're going to feel attacked. It's not necessarily going to be like, oh, I see the bombers approaching from the left flank, they're coming closer. Oh, here we go. Oh God, like my head hurts now. They're attacking me with a headache or whatever. It's not like that. You can't see them coming. Maybe you can psychically feel something coming, but and all of this language posturing it's more about. It's a very difficult thing to explain the thought process behind sort of where I've arrived to in terms of conceptually understanding the realm or the world, but from what I can see, after it was seen that physical weapons, like blowing shit up physically, blowing countries up, blowing up buildings, blowing up human beings and splattering their molecules all over, after it was seen that that's kind of it's a silly thing to do, seeing that energy just recycles anyway, instead of warfare being on that level where it's like we're gonna just like physically destroy this group of people, this group of humans, we're gonna physically blow up this location, that became sort of idiocy, especially after nuclear weapons came into the scene. And also, if you imagine any thought form that has violence in it, it can be amplified up to the nth degree until you have the whole universe, every little molecule is wobbling at a certain rate, or at the speed necessary for nuclear fusion. You can imagine there can be a domino effect that will try to destroy the very fabric of the universe, and in some parallels this has been seen, and some people see this as the end of the world or whatever you want to call it. And of course, if that does happen, then there isn't anybody left to talk about it, so we try to avoid those. But what happens after you see, oh, blowing shit up is not really, it's not really a strategy, so to speak, for any of the players of the game, even if they do hate each other. So it's kind of a silly thing, and it ends up endangering the very playing field at some point. Then it moves into the subtle psychological manipulative realms of intercellular biological processes, and even to the atomic and subatomic levels has the manipulation moved. And what's the so-called mind virus and whatnot is at that levels too. It's psychic, mental manipulation at the level of thought, even depending on how shored up your own defenses are, because some of these things can copy the human behavior. They're already having, and it comes in waves and cycles. Like, these things have been around for a long time. And even the human itself, as far as I understand, it's like the pinnacle at the top of, if the ocean is waves of recurrent sort of refining and honing this biological self-refreshing self-conscious unit, underneath is the current of refreshment and also attack. Like, the body gets attacked, and it's equally attacked as it is sort of self-repairing and figuring itself out at the same time. And then the top of the wave is the actual apparent 3D, phenomenally observable body-mind unit, which we look at and observe as ourselves. And what I'm saying is the warfare, it went into the actual physiology of it, rather than the so-called, like, what is happening, which is the most lowest dimensionally observable aspect of the human, which is in all the dimensions at once, the actual, like, physical body, time-space bound to whatever piece of linearity it's currently residing. That's like the lowest piece, and that piece is not aware. Like, this piece here, depending on how psychically aware I am, is not aware of where what I would call the long body is, which is your it's like your centipede trail. If you're leaving some sort of a psychic trail, like a trail behind your hand, that would be your long body. We're not aware. We're not directly aware of that. So if we're going to be attacked or invaded by some sort of mind virus or some sort of biological warfare type thing, nano, and all these things are involved in it, but you're gonna be degraded from the inside. Not like, it's not gonna be like soldiers invading across the the wall once we build it at the south border. That's like, it's cover stuff. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, if you feel like you need to be doing something, or you're doing important work, and feels like it feels like your mind's about to fall apart or fracture, or you feel like you're getting attacked, and you probably are, but you're also more powerful than that. And if you haven't figured that out, then you have to keep going and find it out.